because while I keep saying, and I was trying to ride this during the winning streak, I'm saying, yeah, but I mean, our starts are kind of keeping us in it, but here's the problem. At some point, you have to say, okay, but why defensively are we getting scored on so much at the beginning of games?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay,
We should have been, those starts, we should have been up 15-2, 3 or 4 out of this 10.
Out of 12, out of 10 games, probably 7 of them.
Yeah, you should have been up 10 to start the game, like the way you were playing.
Oh, okay, so we have been traditionally, like if you were going to do a stat over the amount of zone versus man-to-man that we have played, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been 99.6 to, 0.4 zone, right?
Sure.
How much of a change do you expect to see in the strategy of defense moving forward?
I think that will go to 80-20. Like I think.
You think we're gonna go 20% zone?
I think you will, man, because it works. It's working. It's worked in a lot of games. I do think there's flaws to it still.
Yeah, I was gonna say the communicate. Here's the thing. I'll say this: the zone twin tower, quote unquote, twin tower lineup. What I've noticed about that the most is Malik Williams at the back of it is a talker.
He is.
That's what makes me feel a little more comfortable about that.
It's like Mango.
Yeah. It's just like I said, it's a very underrated stat to have a dude running his mouth in the back of your defense.
I rewatched why I have no idea, but you got to talking about it the other day, and I rewatched some of that second round loss to Michigan, and I know
you watched the second round loss to Michigan.
Very little, but there was one point where Tony Hicks, who was playing awesome that day, we've covered that a lot, but where Tony Hicks physically grabbed Ding Adele with 2 hands like this that you can't see. Twitter,
YouTubers can see.
And slung him, like actively. I'm going to go back. I'm going to send you the clip.
Right.
Actively slung him up to the top of the key.
Right.
And Ding Adele stumbles, like falling, and puts his hands up, and the guy misses the shot.
Right.
But it was like to have somebody on the court.
The intensity and urgency of that one. Yeah.
That's like, I'm willing to just throw you through the guy shooting the ball because you're out of position. But you have to get up there because I can't get there now. Malik is good at that. He's good at getting guys in position.
Boatwright and Shabazz Napier.
Yeah.
You remember they got into it?
Mm-hmm.
Was that like Final Four championship
yep.
game where they actually got into it on the court?
Yeah. Yep. I think it may have been Final Four game against Florida. Yeah.
That just gave me a nice thought. Do we have those on this team?
I think it's a little more there with the young guys. I think
David's doing a lot of talking.
I've watched David argue with Jordan a couple times. They're cool, right? It doesn't seem like there's an issue there.
Who do we have on that line one, John?
It's okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Well, Brian Hall, make sure you tell John that when somebody's on the line, to type it in. Workman, thanks for joining us on 93.9. Fire away. Yes.
Yeah.
Listen, I appreciate the call.
That's a. I'm not saying I totally agree,
Right.
but that's a
The
good
point's there.
observation on the team. That because I agree with what he said on the contagious part. I think this team does play a little bit off the contagious. I think when one or two guys get hot, they all start kind of let's roll. Let's get hot here. And against Georgia Tech, things weren't going well. And I don't think we're front runners. Like I don't think this team's front runners.
See, I was gonna kind of ask the question, kind of to Workman's point. How much adversity have they really faced? And I have a double-sided answer. Not a lot as far as team chemistry, team struggle, team strife. A lot of adversity versus late games and Pittsburghs and Notre Dames and close games, and you faced a lot of adversity in those kind of situations, and guys have just took it upon themselves to step up.
Yeah.
But you haven't been in losing streaks. You haven't been in, suspensions, and you haven't been in, you haven't really even been tested on the other stuff.
Yeah.
So how do we know? How do we identify?
Well, I think
grab your man and get them together kind of.
Well, I think Wednesday night started that process a little bit because nobody did. Malik and David looked like their energy went up.
I don't know, man. Malik's been in people's face. Malik's been in people's face.
I agree with
Malik Malik has actually been in the face enough for me to say, hey Malik, like if the Coach Maven here, right? I would go back through it. I would get the video of the game, right? And all the minutes that Malik is in the game, I would speed up the playback speed, right?
Yeah.
You know how it's just kind of fast speed?
Yeah.
And this is what I would do. David Johnson misses a free throw. Malik Williams goes up to David Johnson, tells him to slow down, right?
Yep.
Very next play, let's say it's a turnover. Malik goes over to whoever did the turnover and says, hey man, you need to do this next time. And part of me, in the player version of Marcus, I'm like, dude, you can't just keep talking to everybody every time somebody screws up.
Yeah.
But then I'm watching it and I hear the caller say, I mean, nobody's really getting on people, right? So, do you need more of Malik coaching on the floor or less?
No, I think that needs to stay consistent because Malik is
he talks to David every single play.
Yeah, but Malik here's the thing. David listens. Like I do think David takes what Malik says. I think Malik, you called him a dad the other day on the phone to the team, and I'm like, I think it's pretty good. Like I think Malik is kind of like the dad of the team, and he listens to Malik, and so you need.
I said that?
Mm-hmm.
It's a good observation.
It was a good observation. Yeah, it was good. Well, we were talking about Malik possibly coming back next year and what he could mean to the team and stuff, and I think that you need him to stay consistent with that. You needed Gorgie to stay consistent with that. Now, don't get me wrong, that team had a few guys that would yell, but Gorgie was kind of the one that would, when he grabbed everybody shut up. When he yelled at Trez didn't talk back. You know what I mean? It was like, all right, this is the one dude. I think Malik's kind of got that with this team. That is, yep, I know exactly the play they're talking about.
Actually, I'll take it a step further.
Yeah.
It was about 4 possessions they didn't give Steven the ball,
Uh-huh.
and he had his man sealed. But every time I see that, I do the same thing. I say,
It's true.
I say, Steve, keep working to get lower position. You know what I'm saying? Because for whatever reason, we don't trust each other.
Yeah.
We don't Steve doesn't trust the guards when he's passing out of the post. The guards don't trust Steve
Right.
on the block, and it's like both guys need to keep on, to keep working.
Steve's a great finisher.
Right. One of the one of the post ups that I did on the last video, Steve kind of just stops at about mid lane, right? The problem is, traditionally, you're not supposed to give the postman that ball right there until he's deeper in the post. But Steve can hit that shot.
I know.
Consistently. So I can understand why, both guys kind of hesitate,
Sure.
to do what they do. Of course, I'm going to say, Steve, get lower, keep using your legs, keep fighting for position, you know what I'm saying? And guard, like, I'm going to go crazy if I'm Coach Mack. And I ever see Steven Enoch anywhere around that charge circle line and you don't get him that ball.
Yeah.
Like I'll put that one, Malik shouldn't even have to do that.
I agree.
Coach Mack, you should be going ballistic if Steven Enoch gets us a possession that close.
I agree, man, because I see there were a few times that I do think Steve did it right. See, that's why that's why it even makes me when I say start Malik.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's why I'm very, I hate it, but I'm like, I could play both games here. Like, I could sit down with Steve and or Pops Enoch or whoever, and I could have this argument back and forth, and I could say, look, kind of sucks on one hand. Now hear me out. On one hand, I say it kind of sucks because I think Steve does a lot of great things. Like even in that game, I thought he had a lot of good position and just didn't get the ball. But at some point too, I have to say, but if he's not going to cause a scene, at some point, I hate to say this too. This is terrible, but at some point,
we've been through it though.
Maybe he needs to go look at Mack in the middle of the game. Coach Mack can say, dude, they got to get me the ball.
Right.
And if you want to bench me, freaking bench me, man. But you got to figure something out with these dudes. Like,
right.
I don't know if that's the answer, but you're right. I think what you're saying, because it's like, I hate it because I'm like, I'm not benching. I'm not starting Malik because your game's not there. But why is it still not? Why are you still not getting the ball? I don't know. Because he doesn't. He doesn't get the ball. And he's the best finisher on the team. He's the best finisher on the team.
He doesn't get the ball.
And he just doesn't get the ball.
I'll tell you what, we're going to do our last reset for the show. Middays with Marcus Maven on 939 The Ville.